Hi guys, welcome to the live feed. This is Lydia, the lifestyle coach, and welcome to another awesome topic. There are so many awesome things that come up. I love the discussion in our group and all the really cool insights that you guys are having and your wonderful questions and your questions and your input and all these things that you guys are asking about and curious about are really a big influence on our live feed topic. So thank you so much for building this amazing community and being part of this. And again, hello, this is Lydia, the lifestyle coach, ending eating disorders using nothing but your brain. And we are going to talk about a topic today about the things that your eating disorder decides for you, and really how it can be on the other side. So a lot of times we aren't fully aware of how our eating disorder is influencing us. And then we're also, because of that, not fully aware of what it looks like on the other side to not have an eating disorder anymore and that vision. So I want to give you guys both ends of that so you can be able to see that and then talking about how to get there. So a lot of times we're on this quest to end our eating disorder, and you started young, right? Like you were making all of these important decisions in your life. You were at this place where you were deciding where to go to school and what career to choose and really just who to be. Like that's growing up, right? Like figuring out all of those things. Hi guys, so fun to have you on. Feel free to heart and like and comment and ask questions and all that jazz. And you have 24 hours in a day, just like anyone else. But for somebody else who doesn't struggle with an eating disorder, they may spend their time with friends, or they may read a book, or maybe they have a hobby. But our day usually goes like this. You wake up planning how you have to eat that day because you binged last night. And then you plan your day around your meals, and you plan your days around your food, and you take twice as long to do everything because you're so distracted by how much you hate your body, and you're obsessing with how you should eat and what you should eat later and how are you going to not binge today. And so you're getting off work and you exercise at the gym for 2 hours because of all the extra stuff that you ate last night. You're not going there out of enjoyment. You're going there because you need to make up for yesterday's sins. And then you cancel your plans with friends because you can't eat out, because you have to eat clean at home because you binged last night. You simply cannot afford the extra calories that end up at a restaurant. And so instead of spending the evening alone, instead of spending the evening out with your friends, you are home alone and you're spending hours Google searching, how to stick to a diet, and why do I keep eating so much, and why am I emotionally eating, and why do I keep eating huge amounts of food, and how to recover from a binge, and what is an eating disorder, and all these sorts of things. In fact, we're going to do a whole live feed on just how to be able to deal with this Google searching of answers, because that is a huge time suck that I know takes so much of our lives. But that's even for another thing. We have some really awesome discussion going on in the group. So hi guys, welcome, hello, so fun to see you on. And that's so fun to see you guys tag your friends as well, of like, hey guys, like here's the thing that we were talking about, here's the gal I was talking about that talks about how to have food freedom. Feel free to tag friends and suggest and share and all that as well. And I already see that some people are sharing, so that's really fun. So that's really how your day goes. And then since you're alone and you've been Google searching answers to how to stop binge eating or why am I eating so much for so long, then you feel like you've learned some really good stuff. And you're going to make all of these changes starting tomorrow. And you're like, okay, this is it. Like, I'm going to have a fresh start. I really can't do this again. And so you think, well, I mean, since I'm starting over tomorrow, and I really think that I've got this now, then I might as well just have one treat tonight. And then you wake up the next morning planning how to eat that day because you binged last night. And this is Groundhog Day over and over and over. This is the feeling of being stuck. This is the feeling of seeing things get worse and worse and worse when you feel like you're doing the same things over and over and over. So our whole lives start revolving around our eating disorders. But here are 5 things that I want to talk to you guys today that really come up a lot. So the 5 things that your eating disorder decides for you. So, thank you guys. I really appreciate the appreciation. I'm happy to do these. You guys are saying that you love that I do these live feeds, and thank you. Mwah, much love. All right, so number one,
your eating disorder decides how you dress. So you get really determined and you lose the weight and you look amazing and you throw out all those big, nasty clothes that you'll never wear again. This is a really common thing. Like you're declaring, like, I'm never going to go back to that. And you throw out all those clothes and an all new wardrobe for an all new you. And you finally dress the way that you want to. And you're finally expressing yourself. And you go out and you spend $3,000, but it's totally worth it because these are the clothes you're going to wear for the rest of your life because this is your size. And then the binging starts again and your clothes get tighter. And then there's a point where you have to buy new clothes. You cannot keep wearing those same clothes, no matter how flowy they were. In fact, they probably weren't flowy because they were the clothes that really expressed you and your style. And you might have even had a pair of jeans in there. And so you have to buy new clothes. And since you throw out all the other ones and you never want to go back up to that weight again, then you have to buy new clothes, but you're buying just enough clothes to tide you over. And so you end up wearing the same things all the time. And you know that feeling of wearing something you don't like every single day over and over. And you've got like 3 different shirts because you refuse to buy any more clothes at this size because you know you have to get back down, right? And your clothes look horrible because they're getting tighter and tighter, but you really refuse to keep buying new ones. So your clothes are always feeling uncomfortable. Your clothes are never what you like. And then at some point you give up and you just start trying clothes and buying clothes that you can wear once you've gained another 20 pounds because you're so tired of shopping for just the minimum, like, every couple of weeks because the rapid weight gain is starting, right? Like it builds up momentum. It took you a year to lose 50 pounds and it's taken you a couple of months or maybe 2 or 3 months to, gain it all back. And it starts scaring you, but the clothes thing is really a problem, right? But you're like, screw it. Like, I'm just going to buy things that are going to keep fitting me because I'm tired of continuing to buy bigger clothes. So all you wear is big, flowy tent clothing, all in black. Like, that's what you wear all the time. And that has nothing to do with your style or expressing yourself, and everything to do with your eating disorder and how you have to dress to disguise yourself. Nothing is cute or permanent. It's literally just these black flowy tints to keep you from being naked until you lose the weight again. And that's the cycle that will happen over and over and get worse every time. And you have this cute wardrobe in your closet that mocks you every single morning because you're just waiting to be the woman you feel like you really are once you can fit back into that. And it's a horrible feeling. So, number 1, what you wear. Hi guys, so cool to have you on. Yes, love that you guys are talking about, your own experience with this because we've freed hundreds and hundreds of women of their eating disorders. Like, I've had an eating disorder. I don't have an eating disorder anymore because we know how to be done with it. But I want to hear your experience as well. Like, if you're relating with this, share here. And I love that you guys are doing that. Yay, thanks for all the likes. Mwah, love it. Okay, number 2, your eating disorder decides your career. We have so many women come to us that are coaches and personal trainers. We have psychologists who specialize in eating disorders that come to us, nutritionists, massage therapists, health coaches that come to us because they feel completely out of integrity because they have an eating disorder and they got into this career essentially to try to end their eating disorder. Super efficient, right? I'm going to go into a career that is really to try to end my eating disorder, and then I'm going to help other people too. Except the big problem is that they still have an eating disorder. It didn't work. And so now they're years and years into this career, and it's a huge secret from all of the people that they're trying to help. They're unable to build their careers because they have this awful integrity issue because they don't feel like they can help anyone else because they haven't been able to help themselves. In fact, we talked to, an amazing woman. I mean, we talked to so many women, but this is like a quote. I'm going to keep it anonymous, of course. But she said, I wish I could have decided what I wanted to do for a career instead of my eating disorder choosing one of the most important choices in my life. So number 2, your eating disorder decides your career. Number 3, your personal development. A lot of us, which is a beautiful thing, that we're on this quest for, personal development. We'll go to therapy and we'll read books and we'll go to these retreats. And yes, we love personal development, And we love being able to become better versions of ourselves. And it was also just a disguise to end our eating disorder, right? It's like, oh yeah, I am going to go to this retreat and I'm really going to improve myself, but I really, 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 really hope that it's just going to help me end my eating disorder. And at first you're convinced that you would have just done it anyway because you love it, right? Like you love personal development, but it's tainted now because it's not working. And now you're just doing anything in hopes that it works. Okay, I'll do this workshop and I'll get this ebook and I'll just do whatever so that hopefully something sticks. And it makes you feel more broken all the time because nothing is working. And it's like the harder that you try, the worse you feel because you still have an eating disorder. And so it starts determining your personal development, and you're not doing it for enjoyment anymore. You're just doing it in hopes to end your eating disorder. Number 4, your eating disorder decides your social life. You can't make plans because what if you binge? Then you'll have to cancel the plans if you do binge. And so you don't know if you're going to binge, so you can't make plans with friends. And then you're really worried about losing your friends because how will a friendship last through so many last minute cancellations? And you're not going to tell them, hey, I can't come because I just binged and I'm physically ill and I just can't make it out tonight because none of my pants fit. You're going to make up something. And what happens is that we are incredibly honest people full of integrity that are lying now. We are lying to the people that we care about most because we're too embarrassed to admit why we canceled plans with them. We can't go out to a restaurant unless we look at the menu. We turn down offers to go to really fun places because there's nothing that's going to fit in with our diet there. And you can't eat what you want because you want to look healthy in front of your friends because you're known as the healthy person. And then you come home and you binge on all the things that you would never eat in front of anyone. That would be a complete shock to everyone. And we spend less and less time with the people that we care about because our eating disorder is taking more and more time. And we're back to the endless Google searches in the evening instead of being out and strengthening our relationships. Number 5, our hobbies. Eating disorders decide our hobbies. We talked to a woman the other day. She said, I have no hobbies, just an eating disorder. What happens is we start getting defined by our eating disorder because we are defined by what we do in our free time. Hey, what do you do in your free time? That's a good way to get to know somebody. That's a good way to get to know their interests and what they value. Because what we do when we're not in the have-tos of, okay, I'm working, I'm sleeping, okay, now I have some free time, that is a huge determiner of how we really want to spend our lives. But the thing is that when we have an eating disorder, it takes all of our free time, all of our, I wouldn't even say extra money, just all of our money. I mean, we've coached women who are in $100,000 in debt because your eating disorder doesn't stop when your bank account runs out. You still keep buying the food, you still keep trying stuff that's not going to work to fix it in hopes of this and that and more extreme diets and all of these sorts of things. And our hobbies turn into trying to end our eating disorders. It's literally like a hobby to try to end this thing. You're Google searching at night. You're trying to do all this stuff that's going to, help you fix this. And so it's one of those things where our hobby becomes trying to end this. So we're not getting anything out of our hobby because we're doing things that actually make it worse and we don't even know it. So as our eating disorder gets worse, it takes more and more time from us. Oh, hi guys. Mwah. Yay. Thank you. That's so sweet. You're the best too. And I know some of you guys. This is so fun. And for some of you who are new, welcome and so happy that you're part of the community. All right. So as our eating disorder gets worse, it takes more and more time from us. And what the feeling is that it just feels like we're trying to keep our head above water. And life revolves around our eating disorder. So what you must be able to do is to flip it on its head. You have to stop living life managing your eating disorder. And you've got to get the help that you need to actually be done with the eating disorder all the way. And then you can start living life. So I'll give you guys examples. And these are real life examples from the people that we have coached that are now free. Some after 25 years of an eating disorder, some after 40 years of an eating disorder, overeating, bulimia, binge eating, food obsession, all of that. And so these are like real examples of real women. Number 1, an eating disorder decides how you dress. So it's so fun because we had one of our graduates, and she said, you know what, like now that she's done with her eating disorder, she was about 25 years or so of an eating disorder, binge eating. And the beautiful thing is that she got done with her eating disorder, and then she started dressing exactly how she wanted to right then. She was finally feeling beautiful and expressing herself through the clothes that she wore. And that was something that she had convinced herself just wasn't important to her. But guess what? When she ended her eating disorder and she was actually able to step into, acceptance of where she was right then she could start dressing in a way that she felt really good about, because she knew that there wasn't going to be this eating disorder that was going to fluctuate her weight up and down all the time. Number 2, your career. There was one of our grads who had who had bulimia for 17 years is a better way to say that. And she was absolutely done after about 6 weeks of working with us. And for her, she was stuck in this career that she didn't have the energy to do anything else because she was always trying to manage her eating disorder. But she had this dream. She had actually wanted to be a pilot for like a really long time. But because her current career was just familiar and she had no mental energy or physical energy to do anything else, like she just kept in this career that she wasn't a big fan of. And as soon as she ended her eating disorder, like she enrolled in her pilot's license certification. Like even before she was done working with us, like all of a sudden it was like, whoa, okay, cool, you're starting pilot school, awesome. Like she didn't wait a second because she had all of this energy back in her life. Number 3, your personal development. There was one of our grads who had an eating disorder for 30 years. And she actually came to us, she was pregnant at the time. She was terrified of passing this on to her children. She was terrified of, hurting her, pregnancy, her baby, because of what she was doing with food. She's now completely done with her eating disorder and she's free. But one of the things is that she actually had a question. She's like, oh my gosh, like, well, now that I'm done with my eating disorder, what do I research? Like I've literally spent hours every day researching how to end an eating disorder. And it was so funny. Like as she was saying this, she like had this epiphany come over her. She's like, whoa, like I could start researching about how to be a great mom and how to take care of a baby. And it dawned on her that she had energy to actually invest in personal development with stuff that like mattered for her in her life. Like she was about to have a child and she got to invest her energy in that as opposed to how to end her eating disorder, because she didn't need to research that stuff anymore because she was done. Number 4, your social life. This is a really beautiful thing because we're a lot of times, even though we're people who have integrity and we care about people in our relationships really suffer because of this, because inherent in trying to keep our head above water and having an eating disorder is just a selfishness. And a lot of us don't like that because we're not selfish people, but we're so self-focused because we don't have energy for anything else except trying to fix ourselves. And it's exhausting year after year after year of doing this. And so when we're done with our eating disorders, the cool thing is that there are good people in our lives waiting for us. Either people that we're about to have wonderful relationships with, or people that have been good friends that have stuck with us through all of the cancellations of plans. And so we actually had one of our grads, she said something so beautiful to us. She said, my friends have really missed me and I didn't even realize it. Like even with all the cancellations, even with all that I've put them through, they've really missed me. And we see people that their friends are really happy that they get to like, where have you been? Like, I hardly ever get to see you. We keep on making plans and canceling them. Like, it's really good to see you. We have moms who are able to eat dinner with their families again. They were literally missing out on memories with their families. Like, hey, everyone go out for ice cream. I can't eat ice cream because I'm a sugar addict. So why don't I stay at home and binge on sugar? Like, that was the dynamic. And now we have moms being able to go out and like make memories with their families because they can eat what everyone else is eating. And number 5, your hobbies. So I thought about this and I'm like, oh my gosh, we've had 3, and these are just the ones that have come to mind. We have had 3 recent grads published books when they've worked with us and gotten done with their eating disorders. Like books that they've been meaning to publish For one of them, it was 12 years. She'd been meaning to publish this book, but she didn't have the confidence and she didn't have the energy, and she felt like she probably wouldn't be in integrity publishing this book unless she was really got some stuff figured out for herself. And so she got done with her eating disorder and she published. We've had 3 recent grads publish books. So you don't need to do anything big and grand like that, but it's really amazing how your focus and your hobbies and the things that you want to do in life, the things that feel like life to you, you get to do when you're done with your eating disorder. And so those are 5 things, guys, that your eating disorder decides for you. And then just a glimpse of, 5 real women and how things have changed for them on the other side of it. And so it's just about filling in the gap of where you're at right now, and then being able to have exactly what you need to know what to do in the moment so that you don't want to binge anymore. Nothing is as sustainable as doing what you want. And so that's exactly what we focus on. And if you want some help with that, what you can do is you can book a free session with us. You can go to lifewithlydia.com/apply. There's a calendar page there. Book a session, and we will walk you step by step through the foundation of freedom and being able to get extremely clear on what is happening, how it's impacting you, what your vision for freedom is, and how to fill in the gaps. This is a free service that we do for those in our community. So you can go to lifewithlydia.com/apply, and you can book a session there. And thank you guys so much for being on. Again, this is Lydia, the lifestyle coach, ending eating disorders, signing off. Mwah. Bye, guys.